The stars glisten in the cold void of space as the Torvax fleet moves closer to Earth, their ships massive and menacing cut through the cosmos. Like a knife through the dark, their weapons are unknown, their power unchallenged, their speed unparalleled. The news reaches Earth's leaders. First a whisper, then a roar as military commanders scramble and civilians panic. The invasion is near. The Council of Galactic Species has already been informed, but they ignore the warning, dismissing Earth as a backwater world too insignificant to be of concern. The Torvax arrive anyway, their ships descending on Earth's orbit like vultures drawn to an easy prey. Their guns are trained on the planet, but it's the silence of the Council that seals the fate of the human race. A warning blast echoes through the Earth's emergency frequencies. SOS, a signal from every corner of the globe. Earth's military is put on high alert. But it's not just the soldiers in the bunkers or the pilots in the cockpits who feel the fear. It's the people, the ones who've never known the terror of war, the ones who've never looked to the sky and wondered what might come next. They are the ones who first feel the truth, the weight of inevitability. In the halls of power, world leaders gather. They argue, they debate, they try to form a plan, but time slips through their fingers. The clock ticks down to zero, and the Torvax are moments away from striking. It seems like the end, but hidden deep beneath the Earth's surface, something else stirs. A long-forgotten plan, a legacy of a time when Earth once thought it could be a player in the galactic scene, a plan older than the nations themselves. Inside secret underground facilities spread across the globe, ancient machinery hums to life. Buried deep within Earth's oceans and under the polar ice caps, warships long thought lost to history rise from the depths. They are massive constructs built with technology that the Torvax have never seen nor understood. They pulse with the hum of strange energy. These ships are not like anything in the galaxy. They are different. They are Earth's last hope. The world's nations set aside their differences. As the crisis deepens, they have no choice. Now they must unite. Humanity must come together or face annihilation. The hidden weapons, long locked away by generations before them, are revealed to the world. They are old but powerful, designed for a threat like the one the Torvax now present. But they were never meant for this time. They were meant for something much larger. The skies above Earth darken as the first Torvax ships enter the atmosphere, their weapons charge and ready, their invasion force landing in hostile waves on every continent. Humanity is caught between panic and determination. People rally around their leaders. They come together in ways the world has never seen before. They know the fight is coming. They know they are outmatched and outgunned. But they also know they have no choice. This is their home. This is their planet. And they will fight for it. The question is not whether they can win, but whether they can survive the first wave long enough for their hidden force to rise again. Humanity stands on the edge of extinction, and only the strength of their resolve will carry them forward into the unknown. As the first Torvax ships breach Earth's atmosphere, humanity is thrust into a new reality. The sky darkens with the shadows of massive warships descending like storm clouds, ready to unleash their fury across every city on the planet. Humanity scrambles its forces, sending military jets, ground troops, and defense systems into the air in an attempt to halt the invasion, but their weapons are useless against the Torvax's overwhelming might. Each attack bounces harmlessly off the alien shields. The invaders' destructive energy weapons slice through Earth's defenses with terrifying precision. It becomes clear that Earth's military is hopelessly outmatched, but the world doesn't know the full extent of what's hidden beneath their feet. Deep within the Earth's crust, in the forgotten vaults beneath mountains and beneath the oceans, Earth's secret weapon stirs to life. Systems that have not seen the light of day in centuries. Power generators long dormant hum back to life, triggering massive underground installations to begin their awakening within deep caverns, hidden within isolated and remote regions across the globe. Ancient technologies designed to protect Earth from an alien threat, unknown at the time, begin to power up, their purpose reignited with the push of a button. Humanity's greatest hope is ready to emerge from the shadows. The first ship rises from the sea, a colossal vessel that breaks through the water's surface. With the force of a whale breaching the ocean, the ship is covered in strange patterns and design symbols etched into its hull from a time before human history. Even the Torvax would not recognize the technology that pulses within its walls. The craft hums as its energy systems come online, massive turbines wear, and the ship launches toward the sky at impossible speeds from beneath icy tundras. Ships once hidden under miles of ice crack open like eggs ready to take flight across the globe. Scattered bunkers begin releasing ships into the air, forming a defensive fleet that was never meant to be seen by anyone, let alone used in war. As humanity's new fleet emerges from its hidden shelters, the world watches in shock as colossal ships take to the sky, their sleek and imposing frames casting shadows over the cities below. Unlike the clunky and inefficient machines of old, these warships are designed with a grace that belies their strength. Their energy shields shimmer against the darkened sky, reflecting the alien ships that now threaten their world. Meanwhile, in the world's command centers, leaders scramble to coordinate the scattered forces, but it is not just the military who are now involved. Scientists and engineers from every corner of Earth have risen to the occasion, pulling together what little they know about these ancient war machines, working alongside the best minds in physics, engineering, and energy manipulation to make them combat-ready in a matter of days. These ships are unlike anything the Torvax have ever seen, and humanity is about to show them exactly what they can do. The Torvax, initially dismissive of Earth as a primitive species, are forced to reassess their assumptions as the first shots fired by Earth's ships strike their vessels with devastating force. Alien warships are ripped apart by energy blasts that defy their understanding, energy shields flaring as they struggle to keep up with the power unleashed upon them. The humans have more than just powerful weapons, they have strategy, and the will to fight to survive. Their response is swift and coordinated, turning the tide of the initial skirmish. But the Torvax fleet is vast, and their strength is still overwhelming. Earth's forces can only hold them back for so long. The next move is clear. Humanity's hidden arsenal is now Earth's greatest defense, and it will fight not just for survival, but for victory. Humanity has risen, but the true test of their strength is yet to come. The battle above Earth rages with fury, the sky filled with streaks of light as alien warships and human vessels collide in a deadly dance of fire and destruction. The Torvax are relentless, their ships unleashing waves of energy that obliterate everything in their path. But Earth's new fleet is not what the Torvax expected. Their warships are fast and nimble, striking with precision as if the very force of Earth's will is behind each attack. Humanity's ships move with an almost unnatural grace, their hulls gliding through the space like predators hunting their prey. In the heart of the fight, Captain Alyssa Hayes, a decorated pilot from Earth's now revealed fleet, leads her squadron into the fray. Her eyes scan the vast expanse of space, watching the enemy movements, calculating every possibility. Within milliseconds, she gives the order. Her squadron breaks off, darting through the chaos, drawing the attention of a massive Torvax destroyer. Their cannons fire, sending blasts of energy that light up the darkness of space. But Alyssa's ship dodges with a fluidity that seems impossible. The Torvax are left stunned, their enemy more unpredictable than they ever imagined. Back on Earth's surface, the global reaction is one of awe and disbelief. Cities watch as the sky becomes a battlefield, massive ships exchanging blows with thunderous roars. Humanity is not just defending, they are fighting with a ferocity that surprises even themselves. The people rally to their cause, watching as their hidden might rises to meet the invaders head-on. Earth's new fleet, though outnumbered, is fighting as though it has nothing left to lose. The Torvax, however, are not easily defeated. Their fleet begins to regroup, sending waves of reinforcements to the front lines. Their tactics are cold and calculated, their ships designed for overwhelming force and total domination. But they are learning that Earth's ships are different. They move with an uncanny ability to outmaneuver, their weapons far more powerful than the Torvax anticipated. Each battle proves harder than the last, and the Torvax begin to realize they have underestimated humanity's ingenuity and resourcefulness. As the days pass, Earth's forces grow more confident, and their victories accumulate. But the Torvax are relentless. Their fleet, now in the hundreds of ships, presses on, determined to wipe out the human resistance. It becomes clear that while Earth's new fleet is strong, it is still not enough to match the sheer scale of the invaders' numbers. Humanity's forces are spread thin, And the question now becomes whether they can hold their ground long enough to make a real difference in this war. It is then that the true strength of Earth's secret arsenal becomes apparent. Hidden within the depths of the massive warships is a technology the Torvax cannot comprehend, a weapon unlike anything the galaxy has ever seen, a device capable of harnessing the full potential of Earth's untapped resources, a weapon that can bend the fabric of space itself. Aboard one of the largest ships in humanity's fleet, Dr. Marcus Reynolds, Earth's foremost expert in energy manipulation, works frantically to bring the device online. The ship's engines hum as the weapon begins to power up. An unprecedented pulse of energy begins to form at its core, an energy that could obliterate entire fleets with a single surge. The Torvax fleet, still unaware of the full extent of humanity's capabilities, continues their assault with renewed vigor, believing they are slowly wearing the humans down. But as the pulse builds, the very fabric of space begins to shift. Humanity is about to show the Torvax that they made a grave mistake, underestimating the ingenuity of a species fighting for its survival. Earth's strength lies not just in its weapons, but in the hearts and minds of the people who refuse to back down from their home. The final moments of preparation come to an end as the massive pulse weapon aboard Earth's flagship hums to life. The ship's core glows with an eerie light, and the first sign of its power begins to manifest. A wave of energy pulses outward, distorting the space around it. The Torvax fleet, still caught in their relentless push toward Earth, fails to anticipate the storm brewing within humanity's ranks. Suddenly, the weapon discharges with a force unlike anything the galaxy has seen. The energy shockwave rips through space itself, disintegrating the first wave of Torvax ships as if they were made of paper. The shock is immediate, and the Torvax fleet is thrown into chaos. Their advanced sensors struggle to comprehend what just happened. The powerful shield technology they relied on for protection begins to falter under the sheer magnitude of Earth's new weapon. But it's not just the weapon itself that is a game-changer. It's the strategies that follow. Humanity's forces, buoyed by their success, launch a coordinated counterattack that takes the invaders by surprise. Captain Hayes, now fully aware of the potential of Earth's arsenal, leads a daring raid on one of the Torvax motherships. She orders her squadron to break from the main fleet, cutting through the advancing Torvax ranks with surgical precision. Their ships fly low to the surface of the alien ship's hull, ducking and weaving through the incoming fire as they make their way to key points in the vessel's structure. Alyssa's ship takes a hit, the shields flickering, but she doesn't hesitate. With a calmness born of experience, she orders the attack run, and within moments, her squadron releases a salvo of precisely aimed missiles directly into the Torvax vessel's engine room. The Torvax mothership explodes in a massive fireball, the shockwaves reverberating through space, pushing back the invading fleet. It is a victory, but one that comes at a cost. Several ships in Alyssa's squadron are destroyed in the attempt, and as the last explosion fades into the void, the full scope of the challenge humanity faces becomes clear. This is just the beginning. While Captain Hayes and her squadron deliver their devastating blow, the battle across Earth intensifies. The Torvax begin to adapt, sending ground troops to Earth's surface and deploying their horrifying war machines to crush any resistance. The cities that once stood proud now burn beneath the alien onslaught. Humanity's forces scramble to defend key locations, using guerrilla tactics and their newfound technology to strike back at the invaders. But the Torvax numbers continue to grow, and with each passing hour, their forces push deeper into Earth's territory. In response to this, Earth's scientists work tirelessly to refine their technologies as they dig deeper into the old vaults and uncovered blueprints hidden beneath the planet's surface. It's clear now that Earth's strength lies in more than just advanced weaponry. It's in the adaptability of its people, the ingenuity they show in the face of overwhelming odds. By day's end, the damage to both sides is staggering. The Torvax have taken heavy losses, but they are far from beaten. Their ground forces are relentless, and their ships remain a powerful threat. Humanity's fleets, though stronger than ever, are spread thin, trying to defend multiple fronts. And as the human forces regroup and prepare for another assault, a chilling realization sets in. The Torvax are not just here to conquer. They are here to wipe humanity from the stars. The battle for Earth is no longer just about survival. It is now about proving to the galaxy that Earth will not fall without a fight. The planet's defenders stand ready, bloody but unbowed, knowing the hardest days lie ahead, but also knowing that they are no longer the underdogs in this fight. Their fight is just beginning, and this time, the invaders will have to face an enemy that refuses to give up. The skies above Earth are ablaze with the remnants of battle, and the air is thick with tension as the Torvax, despite their losses, press their ground invasion with unwavering determination. Their massive war machines tear through Earth's defenses, leaving devastation in their wake. The planet's cities are reduced to rubble, and yet, humanity stands strong, their forces regrouping to launch counterattacks from every direction. But Earth's defenders are stretched thin, fighting a war on multiple fronts while their enemy grows more relentless by the hour. Amidst the chaos, deep within Earth's polar ice caps, an ancient secret is unearthed far from the front lines of the battle. Scientists and engineers have been working around the clock, deciphering old blueprints and systems buried beneath the ice. Their search had been frantic, a desperate race to uncover the secrets hidden by the ancestors of humanity. Long before the rise of modern civilization, the ancient vaults they've stumbled upon were never meant to be found by the human race. They are relics of a time when Earth stood at the precipice of galactic conflict, and the technologies hidden within them were designed to be the last line of defense against an unstoppable threat. Dr. Marcus Reynolds, Earth's leading energy physicist, stares at the holographic map of the underground vaults as his team works tirelessly to decode the alien technologies they have uncovered. The map leads to a complex structure beneath the ice, a massive facility that hums with dormant power, waiting for a catalyst to awaken it. Reynolds has seen the blueprints before, but never imagined he would be standing in the middle of it. An ancient structure with technologies far more advanced than anything Earth has ever seen. The vault's power core is one of the last remnants of a mysterious race that once lived on Earth. Long before humanity's time, these ancient beings had technology capable of manipulating the very fabric of the universe itself, and now, that technology is humanity's only hope. The race against time accelerates as the Torvax continue their invasion, pushing humanity to its limits. Earth's defense lines are crumbling, and it's clear that without something extraordinary, Earth will not be able to hold out much longer. As the scientists uncover more of the alien technology, they discover a hidden chamber deep within the facility. A strange device pulses with energy, unlike anything they've ever seen before. Reynolds steps forward, feeling the hum of the device vibrate through his body. This is the key to humanity's survival, a weapon capable of turning the tide of the war. But the question remains, can they unlock its full potential before it's too late? Back on Earth's surface, the war intensifies. The Torvax are relentless, their ground forces sweeping through the continents, bringing their heavy artillery to bear on every last stronghold. They can find cities crumble under the weight of their assault, but humanity's fighters, now battle-hardened, are not giving up. They fight back with renewed ferocity, utilizing every advantage they can find. From urban warfare to sabotage, hitting the Torvax where they least expect it. But as the enemy's forces grow, so too does the cost of every victory. Each one is paid in blood, the streets littered with the bodies of Earth's defenders. It is in this desperate hour that Dr. Reynolds and his team make a breakthrough. After days of grueling work, the ancient device flickers to life with a violent surge of energy. The air around it crackles with power, and the scientists watch in awe and fear as it begins to hum with life. The device, it seems, was not just a weapon. It is a force of nature itself, a tool designed not to destroy, but to reshape reality. The device has the power to alter space and time, to bend the very laws of physics to the user's will. Dr. Reynolds stands before the device, feeling a sense of awe mixed with terror. This is the weapon that can save Earth, but its power is unlike anything humanity has ever wielded. There is no guarantee it will work, and no guarantee it won't destroy everything in the process. As the Torvax push deeper into Earth's heart, the device is activated. The ground trembles, and a blinding light bursts from the vaults beneath the ice. The weapon that will change the course of the war is now in humanity's hands. The question now is whether they can control it, or if it will tear the fabric of their world apart. The blinding light from the newly activated device pulses through the icy landscape, cascading across the sky in a brilliant wave that illuminates the war-torn world above. Far from the epicenter of the Torvax invasion, humanity's forces pause, their eyes turning toward the growing radiance. It's as though the Earth itself is breathing in the energy of something greater, something ancient. Dr. Marcus Reynolds and his team of scientists stand frozen in awe as the device hums louder, its power growing with each passing second. They have unlocked a force far beyond human understanding, a weapon that could either be their salvation or their destruction. But there is no time for hesitation. Reynolds reaches out to activate the next phase, and with a series of rapid commands, the device begins to reshape the very fabric of the world's energy grid. It's not just a weapon. This technology is far more than that. It begins to manipulate the electromagnetic fields, altering gravity and spatial dimensions, pulling and pushing energies across the planet in ways no one fully understands. The oceans start to shift, the skies tremble, and Earth's natural order begins to warp. Back on Earth's surface, the Torvax have felt the shift. Their ground forces, which have been steadily advancing across the continents, feel an unnatural tremor beneath their feet. Their battle cruisers in orbit above Earth flicker as their own systems strain against the anomalies forming on the planet's surface. Even their most advanced technologies are struggling to adjust to the unpredictable nature of the strange energy pulse emanating from the planet's core. For the first time since the invasion began, the Torvax feel uncertainty. High above the battlefield, Captain Alyssa Hayes' fleet receives the transmission. Initiate Phase 2 of the assault. Coordinate with the anomaly pulses. She's standing at the helm of her command ship, watching as Earth's fleet forms up for what could be their most decisive strike. They have felt the power of the device now and know what it can do. This is humanity's last, desperate attempt to regain control. Alyssa orders the fleet into position, and the human warships descend from their high-altitude positions to engage the remaining Torvax ships still in orbit. They're no longer operating with conventional tactics. They've seen the power humanity can wield, and now they must take full advantage of it. Using the electromagnetic pulses as cover, Earth's fleet maneuvers with calculated unpredictability, slipping between the Torvax warships with ferocity. The first wave of Torvax ships begins to falter, their energy shields flickering as the strange distortions in space continue to affect their targeting systems. They are now flying blind, vulnerable to the precision strikes that humanity's fleet delivers. Captain Hayes pushes forward with renewed determination, watching as more Torvax vessels are consumed by Earth's retaliatory barrage. The Torvax are no longer the relentless force they once were. They are now a disorganized mass, scattered in the wake of Earth's unexpected counterstrike. Still, the Torvax are a dangerous enemy. The invasion is far from over, and they regroup quickly, launching an intense offensive aimed at crushing the resistance with overwhelming force. The Torvax do not yield. They cannot. Their species is built on dominance, and they have come too far to turn back now. Down below, the situation grows even more dire. Earth's cities, once proud symbols of human civilization, are falling one by one. Even with the advantage of the strange energy pulses, the human defense lines are not holding. The Torvax's ground forces are relentless. They storm every remaining stronghold, decimating humanity's last line of defense. In the midst of this struggle, Dr. Reynolds stares at the readings from his control station. He sees the potential for victory, but also the danger. The energy pulses can only be sustained for so long, and if the Torvax manage to find a way to adapt, the weapon will lose its edge. He has one last chance, one final gambit. Reynolds orders the activation of the device's full potential. The core's energy expands to unimaginable levels. Time itself seems to slow as the weapon begins to destabilize the very gravitational fields around Earth. For a brief moment, The laws of physics bend and twist, creating a rupture in space-time that sends ripples across the planet. And then, with a deafening roar, the world shifts. Humanity's fleets, newly emboldened by the chaos, push forward in a final unified assault, delivering a devastating blow to the heart of the Torvax fleet. In one sweeping moment, the invaders' command ships are shattered, their forces scattered and broken. The once imposing armada that had threatened to crush Earth is now a fragmented shadow of its former self. But as Earth's victory looms, Reynolds knows the war is far from over. The device has given them an edge, but its power has come at a terrible cost. As the final remnants of the Torvax forces retreat, leaving Earth to heal, one question remains: what will become of the world that has been forever changed by its newfound strength? The device, now unstable, pulses with an ominous glow. What comes next may be the greatest challenge humanity has ever faced. The victory was hard-won, and yet a sense of unease clung to Earth like an oppressive fog. The Torvax fleet had been broken, their ships shattered, their forces scattered. Humanity had driven the invaders back, but at what cost? The war had transformed the world in ways no one could have imagined. Cities lay in ruins, landscapes altered forever, and the strange device, the one that had given humanity its final chance, now hummed with an unstable energy that threatened to tear everything apart. Dr. Marcus Reynolds stood in the heart of the underground facility, watching as the device flickered with erratic pulses of power. His fingers hovered above the control panel, the fate of the planet resting in his hands. The gravitational shifts caused by the device had been more violent than expected, warping the planet's atmosphere, causing strange weather patterns, and disrupting Earth's electromagnetic fields. And now, as he looked out at the control room's readouts, he saw something he had feared. The fabric of reality itself was beginning to stretch. The device had done its job. It had turned the tide of the war. And yet now it seemed to be unraveling the very world it had been designed to protect. The power surging through it was too great, and the delicate balance that had been maintained for centuries was slipping away. The world itself was on the verge of destabilizing, and Reynolds knew there was only one thing left to do: shut it down before the consequences became irreversible. But the device had one last secret, one last function that Reynolds had not anticipated. As he reached for the shutdown sequence, a warning flashed across the terminal. The device had entered a state of resonance, and deactivating it could cause catastrophic damage, an irreversible chain reaction that would destroy Earth in moments. The entire planet was now tethered to the device, its energy synchronized with the planet's own core. To stop it would mean tearing apart everything. In the distance, far beyond the cold walls of the facility, the survivors of the war struggled to rebuild their fractured world. The last remnants of the Torvax had retreated to the farthest reaches of space, but Earth's victory had not come without immense sacrifice. The global economy had collapsed, entire ecosystems had been decimated, and the social fabric that had once held humanity together was now in tatters. Captain Alyssa Hayes, now stationed in a temporary command center overlooking what remained of a shattered city, looked up from her reports. She had fought on the front lines, leading her fleet into battle, and had witnessed firsthand the horrors of the invasion. Now, as the world began to piece itself back together, she couldn't shake the feeling that something still wasn't right. She had felt the strange energy waves pulse through the air during the final battle, and she knew that the cost of their victory was far more than they had understood. Her comms officer interrupted her thoughts with a grave expression. "Captain, we're receiving an encrypted transmission from Dr. Reynolds. He's requesting immediate contact. It's urgent." Alyssa quickly agreed, and within moments, the holographic image of Dr. Reynolds appeared in front of her, his face haggard, his eyes filled with urgency. "Captain Hayes," he began, his voice tense, "the device, it's still active. And if we don't find a way to stabilize it, we'll lose everything." The energy pulse from the device has begun to destabilize the planet's core. It's affecting the very fabric of reality itself. We've been living on borrowed time since its activation. Alyssa's heart skipped a beat. What do you mean, living on borrowed time? The device wasn't just a weapon, Reynolds explained. It was a power source, designed to interface with the Earth's own energy grid, but in the process it began to drain the planet's natural resources. The planet is reacting to the imbalance. If we don't neutralize the device soon, it could trigger a cataclysm. The earthquakes, the storms, the strange phenomena we've been experiencing. They're only the beginning. Alyssa's mind raced. She had fought with everything. She had to protect Earth. But now she understood the true cost of their survival. The Torvax may have been defeated, but humanity had unleashed a force that could undo all they had fought for. Is there any way to reverse it? She asked, her voice steady but filled with desperation. I don't know, Reynolds admitted, a rare note of vulnerability in his voice. The device is beyond anything we've ever encountered. I've made progress, but shutting it down might require a sacrifice. We may have to make the choice to either save Earth or allow the device to complete its function, which will undoubtedly change everything, including us. Alyssa stared at the image of Dr. Reynolds, the weight of the decision sinking in. There was no time left to waste. She would have to make a choice that would affect not just Earth, but the entire future of humanity. The world was standing at a precipice, and it was up to her to decide which way they would fall. We're coming to you, Reynolds, Alyssa said, her voice filled with determination. We'll find a way to fix this. But as she turned to rally her team, a deep rumble shook the ground beneath them. It was too late. The planet's core had begun to shift in ways they could not have predicted. The final chapter was about to begin. The rumble that shook Earth was unlike anything humanity had ever experienced. It wasn't just an earthquake or a mere tremor. It was the planet itself reacting to the instability caused by the device. The ground cracked open in multiple locations, vast fissures splitting across continents, and massive storms churned across the skies, tearing through the remnants of humanity's shattered cities. Every corner of the globe was affected, as if the Earth itself was fighting against the very energy that had saved it. Alyssa Hayes stood at the helm of her command ship, watching as the sky above darkened. The storm was closing in, the clouds swirling in unnatural patterns, and the temperature plummeting. The final assault was no longer on the Torvax. It was on the planet itself. The energy pulses from the device had destabilized Earth's core, and now the planet was on the brink of collapse. With every passing moment, the chances of saving the world were slipping away. The warships that had once been humanity's pride now felt insignificant in the face of this new threat. It wasn't just the Torvax they had to fight. It was the very force of nature they had unwittingly unleashed. The clock was ticking, and time had run out. Dr. Marcus Reynolds, standing deep within the hidden facility beneath the ice caps, had one last hope. The device was far more powerful than they could have imagined, its energy now reaching critical levels. The ground beneath him trembled as the last of the machine's stabilization protocols began to fail. He had been working nonstop to understand its intricacies, but now the gravity of the situation pressed on him with crushing weight. If he couldn't find a way to deactivate the device within the next few hours, the consequences would be far worse than anyone had prepared for. His comlink crackled, and Captain Hayes' voice came through, sharp and resolute. Reynolds, we're on our way to you. Get ready. We'll fix this together. Reynolds' heart quickened. He wasn't sure there was anything left to fix, but he had to try. He scanned the readouts one last time, his eyes catching on one detail, a feature of the device that had been hidden in its ancient blueprints. It wasn't just a weapon. It was a conduit, capable of transferring its immense energy into another form, one that could either stabilize or destroy the planet. It was a risk, but it was humanity's only chance. As Alyssa and her team raced toward the facility, Reynolds began to work furiously, inputting commands into the terminal. The device hummed louder, its energy spiraling, as if aware of the impending decision. The planet seemed to tremble beneath him, and for the first time in his life, Reynolds understood the weight of the choices humanity had made. They had taken a gamble, a dangerous one. And now they were playing with forces that no one fully understood. Alyssa's fleet arrived at the facility just as the skies above darkened completely, a blanket of black clouds swirling in an ominous vortex. Lightning crackled in every direction, and the ground began to shake again, more violently this time. Earth was fighting to stay together, but the fight was a losing one. The doors to the underground vault opened, and Alyssa led her team inside, making their way toward Reynolds. The tension was palpable, every footstep echoing like the ticking of a clock, the countdown to Earth's final moments. When they arrived at the central chamber, Reynolds didn't hesitate. He gestured toward the core of the device. "I found a way to transfer the energy into a controlled burst," he explained, his voice tight with exhaustion. "But to do so, I have to channel all of its power at once. The device will need to be detonated at its core, and the energy will either stabilize the planet or destroy it." Alyssa took a step forward, her eyes meeting his with unwavering determination. "We're all in this together, Reynolds. If we don't stop it now, everything we fought for will be lost." Reynolds nodded, and together, they activated the final sequence. The device hummed louder, its light blinding as it reached the critical moment. The ground shook so violently that it was almost impossible to stand, but they held their ground, knowing that this was the only way. A flash of blinding light erupted from the core of the device, and for a moment, it seemed as if everything had stopped. Time itself appeared to freeze. Then the light collapsed into a single point, and the device's power, focused and refined, shot upward into the sky. The storm above Earth began to break apart, the clouds dissipating, and the winds dying down. The tremors slowly ceased, and the planet's violent shaking calmed. Earth, though battered and scarred, had been saved. The silence that followed was almost as deafening as the chaos that had preceded it. Alyssa looked around, feeling the weight of their survival. "We did it," she whispered, though her voice carried no certainty. They had won, yes, but at what cost? Reynolds watched as the last remnants of the device's energy faded into the sky. The world had been changed forever. Earth had survived, but it would never be the same. As the dust settled, humanity stood on the precipice of a new beginning. The war was over, but the real battle, for rebuilding, for understanding, for ensuring their future, was just beginning. The device was gone, its secrets forever sealed, and yet its legacy would live on, a reminder of the price they had paid to survive. The dawn of a new era had begun, and humanity, though scarred, would rise again.